Welcome back to Vintage Vera Bradley. Well, I've switched over into my Seaport Navy Carry-All, and so I thought it'd be a good time to show what that looks like packed up, and then do a comparison between what can fit in a carry-all versus what can fit in a cargo sling. And back there you see my Raspberry Fizz cargo sling. In front of it, you see my Raspberry Fizz Libby. In front of that, you see my Spectator in Seaport Navy and my Carry-All in Seaport Navy. So I'm going to bring this one in closer so you can see. All right, so first of all, I wanted to show how well a Vera Bradley stainless steel water bottle, this is Dreamer Paisley, and I was really excited to see how well the colors in this coordinate with this trim, this lovely trim on Seaport Navy. So you have Dreamer Paisley, Seaport Navy. This fits easily. So you'll see the difference whenever we get over to the cargo sling. It can fit in there, but it's a very tight fit. So this one I'm not worried about fabric rubbing. Now I will show you inside that when you put a bottle in here, it does kind of push into the capacity inside the bag. So what I found helpful is to get my water bottle in there first and then pack up things on the interior so it fits properly. All right, so that's one side. The other side of this carry-all, another lovely piece of trim. On the back, you have this really nice zip pocket, which is one spot where you can carry a phone. This is my Android phone, which is much taller. It's about, let me put it up here and see real quick for sure. It's about this much longer than an iPhone 15. So really any sized smartphone should fit back there in that back pocket. It can fit easily in the side pocket. Depending on how you have this packed up, you can get it in the front pocket, but if you have a lot in here like I do, that's a pretty tight fit. So, but you have lots of options for where you're gonna put a phone. All right, so you have one way to know, as I previously have shown, to know that this is a carry-all, is this front flap over two pockets, and it has Velcro attachments. Compared to the Spectator, you have trim right here and two open pockets, no flap. These two, kind of like the Libby and the crossbody, tend to get confused online because people see the puffy winged attachment and they see trim and they usually think carry-all. I mean, they usually think Spectator. More people know the name of this one than this one. It's more likely to see these named correctly online versus the carry-all. But I'm hoping to help change that by sharing videos about this vintage style. In this other front pocket, I have a Dreamer Paisley Zip ID that I have my Wet One wipes in, so they're easy to access. All right, so I'm going to take this, and so the zipper goes all the way over. Now, if you have a bottle in there, you may need to take it out. And you could open that up without doing that, but it might be a bit tight. Let's see. Let's try it again. Yeah, you can go up. All right. So down inside here, let's see. I have my sunglasses case. This is a factory outlet version in floral bursts. There I have my sunglasses and a lens cloth, and that is in citrus paisley. I have a double, I don't remember what this item's called. I'll look it up and put it in the description below. This is Dreamer Paisley. This is larger than a Zip ID, quite a bit larger. See right there, there. So I'm using this as my wallet, and it has 2 zipper areas. And the interior pattern on that one is called Plants. And usually I would have my driver's license right there, but I took it out for sake of filming. So I'm using that as my wallet. I have a small cosmetic in Dreamer Paisley. This has a zipper front, just my usual things. All right. I have my Dreamer Paisley tissue pouch and my Altoids. Start to see down in there now. All right, there is my earbuds case in Dreamer Paisley with a charging block and cord. All right, I think this may have come with some hair ties maybe. It's a pouch in floral burst from the factory outlet, and I just have extra keys down inside there. And then I have my Quiet Harbor knotted wristlet key strap, and that's full grain leather. I really love that color. It coordinates with quite a few patterns that I have. And then let me turn around. Okay, so you can see the interior of this bag. You get 2 nicely thick padded quilted pockets on one side and identical quilted pockets on the other side. So you have 4 interior quilted pockets. You have the full zip on the back, 2 deep side pockets, and 2 good sized pockets on the front. All right, so in this one I have a reusable grocery bag, and I have Citrus Paisley reader's case where I have a stylus and a pen in floral bursts. All right, so let me see. I think that's everything out of that. Let me take the water bottle out. So again, give you a really good look inside. I like that blue kind of check pattern. The side like that. You have the poofy wings, so a distinctive look. If you're looking for one of these, your best bet, from my experience, is to do a Google image search or a search with an image within eBay. Because of the distinctive front flap, the side pockets, and the winging, those image searches in those 2 ways do a pretty good job of finding these. All right, so I'm going to set that one aside. And I'm going to show you what can fit in the cargo sling. All right, again, cargo sling is distinctive. The straps come straight up, flat, straight up, not from the sides, but from the front. And you can see this distinctive hardware. It also has 2 pockets on the front, each with a separate flap. Depending on if it's a first, second, or third, the first version is going to have Velcro closures. The second and third have magnetic closures. All right. Let's get this opened up. You can see inside the cargo sling, and I have another video about it, but there's 3 slip pockets in the back and 1 huge zip pocket along the whole back of the bag. All right, so I have it all loaded up. so you can see what can fit. This is the cargo sling. The side pocket here is extremely tight fit. Like, you saw me struggling. I could not get this in there while the bag was floppy. I needed to go ahead and load up my things and then get this in there. But it's doable, but it's very tight. And it doesn't go up very high. So yes, you can technically fit a very slim stainless steel. This is a Vera Bradley stainless steel water bottle. I think it holds like 17 ounces. Anyway, it's very tight fit. So I've carried it with that, but I won't do that very often because I'm concerned, especially with this vintage fabric, that would wear down over time. So you can, but with caution. So I'm going to take that out. So on the front here, in this front pocket, I have my Wet Ones wipes. Inside, you can see I have everything that I had in the carry-all, but the difference, an important difference for me, I don't always need to carry my iPad with me, but when I do, this is a bag that I can fit that down in there. The opening on a carry-all is not large enough to be able to fit this in. So I'm going to show you how to get it in and out. I can pull it like this and then pull it out. And if you've seen my other videos, this is featherweight pumice stone. I think it's called a tablet sleeve. And this is a full-size iPad Air M2 2024 11-inch in a pretty bulky case. So as long as you have an iPad that's around that same size and you have a fairly thin pouch, it should fit in there. Folks who have said that they can fit a laptop in there, I'm not quite sure how. Maybe it'd have to be a pretty small one. Anyway, for sure, you saw I took out my iPad Air 11-inch in a pretty thin protective case. All right, so next up, in these 3 back pockets, or 3 interior pockets on the back wall, I have my same tissue case. I have my Altoids. I have my same pen and stylus, my same pouch and key strap. Same case with the sunglasses. Everything else fit down in there. So actually, a cargo sling can hold more than a carry-all. And if you need it to, it can puff out and carry all that. What I really, really like about the cargo sling is if I'm not carrying that much, and it'd be kind of rare that I'd carry this much stuff with me at one time, the way it hangs on the body, it collapses down and hangs nice and slim. Whereas the carry-all, let me grab it again. There's not a hard base, but look how wide that is. The capacity, which is great in that it can stand up on its own quite easily without anything in it. And maybe you could train it. No, it's not going to lay flat. The plushness of this fabric, this is so cushy, poofy plush, which I love. But when I have worn it crossbody, it sticks out pretty far. So this is primarily a bag that I'm using if I'm traveling. And often I'll even just carry it over my shoulder. I know I said I'm not really a shoulder bag gal, but these straps are so wide and the way that this hangs, it's actually quite comfortable on my shoulder. but I can wear it crossbody if I need to. And I really love how easy it is to get the water bottle in and out. So if I'm looking to choose what I want to wear traveling, it's probably going to be this. If I'm needing something that I am going to carry my iPad, then I'm going to choose the Cargo Sling. All right, let me finish showing you this. I'm losing my light. Let's see if we can still see down in there. All right, so I have the same small cosmetic, the same wallet, and I'll put in the description what that is, the same pouch with my charging cord and the same reusable, I don't even know what brand that is. I just got it at Hobby Lobby. I like the colors in that. So these two bags, the carry-all and the Cargo Sling, can carry almost the same capacity. The carry-all does a better job with water bottles in the side pocket. The Cargo Sling does a better job if you need to put something like a book. I think I've shown that before. I've put a hardback book inside here to protect it, and it could fit down in here. So if you need to carry something like a full-size iPad, a book, maybe possibly a very small, maybe like a small Chromebook. I don't think you could fit a larger, I'd have to see someone show that on video. I don't know how you would finagle that. And then you have all this room in the back. And the way that these have their own gusset, I don't run into any problem having my phone right there in one of the front pockets. All right, so as a comparison, I'm not going to load up a Libby because you've seen several videos about the Libby, but it's significantly smaller. Even though people often call this the mini Cargo Sling, there is no such official name as that. Just social media influencers have nicknamed it that. This is a Libby. And it looks, the shape of it, the design of it looks very similar, except the strap is very different. The strap attachment comes straight up from the sides instead of straight from the front. So two very different bags in size, but look similar. And then again, the carry-all and the Spectator. Spectator trim, 2 pockets, poofy wings. Carry-all flap, the flap right here that covers up the 2 pockets. 2 very deep side pockets with very wide trim. Poofy large wings. And the zipper on the back. So I hope this helps you decide between bags and to know what styles that you're looking for.